Alright, super not looking forward to doing this today, but yeah, car broke. This, yeah, it's probably a little hard to hear, but that whole making bacon sound is not good. So basically what happened was I was driving down the road all normal like, and as you can see, I got no screen. So that means I got no fuel gauge, I got no kilometerage, I got no kilometers for speed, I got no clock. So yeah, that sound suggests it's a constant 12 volt connection that might have just been broken. So I'm going to use this cute little tool set here, and I think it'll be easier because I got these 3 on top here to try to get out. Hopefully those are the only ones. I've got most of the service manual for this thing, but I'm not sure if it'll cover that. I'll go dig it up if I have to. These should all be Torx. This one seems like it's gone. Yeah, so that's cool. How about you? No, that one seems there. Come on now. Are you not a T20? You might not be a 20. Is this one easier to get to? Yeah, I mean, I can't really drive this thing without a functional speedometer. Yeah, seems like it's probably a T20. I think that's how this thing works, I don't know. Could do without the sun directly in my face, but what are you gonna do? I guess I could pull forward a little. Come on now. Fine. Yeah, there's a camera here. Come on now. Come on. I mean, I've got other cars to drive, but the sizzling kind of suggests this might want to do something about this, you know, soon-ish. Might need to unplug the battery if not. There we go. Okay. There's this lovely thing. I just have to fix this rubber deal here. Put this here. Put that back. I guess I'll be getting some glue for that. Super. You can go away. Looks like you're probably still T20s. It's mostly okay. It'll be fine. Alright, so this is some kind of goofy connector. Looking at the back of my head, I'm sure that's enjoyable. There we go. Ta-da! Found a T10 that actually fits. So one thing about interchangeable bits like that is sometimes they just do not fit. Alright, let's see here. Oh good, plastic snaps, my favorite. Why do you need snaps and screws? I don't get it. Alright, there we go. So, alright, here's the first blush. We got, where's the thing? There it is. Sorry, I gotta babysit this stupid GoPro. Make sure I got an actual recording on the damn thing. Nothing looks on fire. Otherwise burnt up. Nope, I don't want that thing. I think that goes behind the LCD panel. Yeah. I suspected bad solder joints. But nothing's jumping out at me. I guess I'll go look at the plug. See anything awry? At least it stops sizzling, that's a plus. Alright, so after much disappointment, I discovered some things. So, here's the board. This will reattach. It's just going to be weird. Because, I mean, this will go on the pads there. It's just, I'm going to have to figure out some kind of adhesive. Because I think what they did is they used like a special comb to apply glue in here. Like between the contacts, and then they'd like squish it down and that would hold it. But obviously I can't do that. Anyway, so discoveries. Number one, all these light bulbs were dead. One of them looked like it wasn't dead, but it has no resistance, like it reads open. So yeah, so all four of those are dead. Whether that's a contributing factor, I couldn't tell you. Number two, if I mess with these capacitors, it quits making noise, and if I hold the display up, it'll work if I twitch these enough. So these got to go. They've got this green stuff on them, which I suspected might be like an indication of leakage, but I don't think so because this also has green stuff on it. So, and finally, there's a solder joint broken right here, but I don't think that's an issue because that's just the resistor for the backlight there. So I think I can fix this. It's just really frustrating. So these capacitors are 220 at 16, so they're kind of small-ish, so they don't have to be electrolytic specifically. So I might see what I've got in my drawer of tricks and see if I've got anything that's close to those values, and then just swap those out, and hopefully this will work. Because you can kind of find, I found one of these on eBay and it's like $100, like 80 euros or something. And yeah, why spend the money if I ain't got to? So yeah, I'll take y'all along as I do that. So these work as replacements for the ridiculous little lights, these deals. So they just they just pull out of the little socket, like boop and boop. I suppose if you wanted to get real froggy, you could put LEDs in there, but you'd either need to buy the weird special LEDs, or you'd need to somehow modify this board to run at a LED friendly voltage and stuff. I'm not doing that. I'm just going to put some incandescents, because it was like €2 for a box of these. So whatever. Yeah, so for today, I think I'm done. I'm going to stick a fork in this old pile. Yeah. And then tomorrow, maybe. Because I lost... There's that fat orange cat. Get out of my garage, cat. Because I lost the little rubber deal that sits here that does the clock buttons. So hopefully that's kind of in the general area it's supposed to be. But yeah, until tomorrow or whenever. All right. So we're back with the Renault. I managed to harvest a couple capacitors that will work. It's really difficult to get through-hole stuff off of boards like this, because the capacitors are usually in a ground plane, and yeah, it kind of sucks. I mean, I got all the little stuff off real easy, but anything that goes through the board is not a fun time. But I found two that were the same rating. These are 220 microfarads at 16 volts, 105 degrees. So soldered them in. Here's the old ones. So oddly on these, they kind of fold the negative terminal in to make it thicker for some reason. And one of the annoying things about this board is that there's not a single indication of what anything is on here. Like normally it'll say like C102 or like R12 or D27 or some crap, but yeah, this doesn't have a single indication anywhere on it of what anything is. So like these over here, right? So one of the things about surface mount components that I hate is that, you know, it might just say 103 on there. Like these say V603. You know, if I type in V603, I have absolutely no idea what that device is. It comes up as a diode, it comes up as a resistor, it comes up as a capacitor. So, yeah. I mean, maybe if I was an electronics engineer, I could, you know, just study the schematic and say, okay, well, by its position on the board, that is clearly a decoupling capacitor, so it needs a value of this. But I'm just a guy who fixes stuff on occasion. So, yeah, if it doesn't have relatively intelligible markings, then I have a hard time. Anyway, so I did do a rudimentary test on this. I put it in the car and the lights come on, and it no longer makes horrible bacon frying sounds out of the speaker. So I assume that means it works. So I get to put it back together. I did find the little clock setting nub, so probably just drop that back in place. Hopefully it'll stay there. As for this part, well, kind of want to clean the display slightly. That's probably good enough for a 20-some-year-old car. Anyway, so the way this is bonded is with some kind of adhesive, and then it's held with pressure by this little pink deal. So where's the white thing? Yeah, so there's more white areas on this side. So this is what's going to hold this to the board here. So I just put some tape on there. I'm just going to line this up as best I can, and hope that the pressure from the pink thing is enough for this to function. It's just really fiddly because I have to do it at an angle, and I don't want to rip it off the display panel. I don't recommend trying to clean this in any way, because you might take the traces off. That should be alright. Should be good enough. It's on there. Should be fine. So we take this, pop it back down like that. Take this, and well, actually I think it might be easier to apply it to the rear. This might have to slip down in there afterwards. I'm going to apply that to the pink bit there. And then fold this over like that. Get everything lined up, and hopefully that'll go. Come on, go down in there like you're supposed to. I have to tweak these light bulbs a smidge. I think they're meant to lock into that plastic housing a little. Yeah, so now we've got full contact along the bottom with the pink bit. And this can go in here. Wipe this off real quick just in case there's any gunk on it. I'm not sure what this little dot is for. Maybe it's for the low fuel light, so it's a different color. I think it's supposed to be orange. Should be alright. So all that stuff's where it's supposed to be. Should be alright. It's off slightly, but it shouldn't really affect anything. Pretty sure it's meant to have some sort of what's the word? You know the word. It's not bird, but I want to say clearance, but it's probably not the right word. We'll see if it works, and then if it doesn't, we'll adjust as necessary. I mean, this isn't a sort of thing where you gotta bond it permanently. It's just some snaps. So if any of the segments are out, we can take it from there. I like that it's actually made in France instead of China. And this is from a 2000 model year car, which is unusual, I think. Alright, so let's go back out to the car and see if it works. Alright, back out in the car on what's probably the hottest day of the year so far, because of course. So, set the deal right there. And figure out how to finagle this little camera here. I think the cup holder's too low. Alright, that'll do. It's got this little rotating thing to engage the connector, which I don't hate, but I don't really love either. Alright. Alright, key on. Alright. We've got segments. Yeah. Looks like we are in business. I know it's probably kind of hard for y'all to see. But yeah, it looks okay. So I'm gonna put the screws back in it, and should be fine. So I'm gonna go do that. So I guess if you got one of these, you know, maybe replace the light bulbs. Be a good idea. I don't know if that precipitated the failure on this thing, or if it was just kind of coincidental that they were pretty much all dead. But yeah, who knows. And then those capacitors. I need to get a capacitance tester. I've got a Fluke multimeter that is supposed to have a capacitance range, but it hardly ever works for anything at all. So, I mean, I'll get one eventually. It's just kind of in a weird situation where I don't want to be buying a whole bunch of extra crap. So, yeah. So I'm going to put the screws in, and then we'll pop the top back on here. Alright, so I glued that, the weather strip thing there, so should be dry by now. E6000 takes about 24 hours to set up. But, yeah, so here's our... what are you doing? There you are. You're not going to cooperate with me, right? Hold on. I got something for this. You gonna work? Alright. So, there's the thing. Got the screwdriver. Got the screws. Alright, so that should give us adequate pressure on that cable there. And yeah, everything should be hunky-dory. So let's pop it back in the car. Yoink. The Twingo. Yeah, that stupid lock decided it doesn't want to work anymore. Super annoying. It might figure itself out. Anyway, that's what video editing software is for. There we go. Problem solved. Just go up there. Like that. I think. Are these the same bit? Yeah. Wish these were magnetic. Is there a... Okay, so it's got little holes back here, and then it's got little nubs on this, so you gotta line those up. I don't like all this sound deadening stuff. It kind of smells like hot crayons when it gets hot in the car. Apparently that's a very European car sort of thing. It's that hot crayon smell. I don't much care for it. Camera to the head. There you are. Last one. Remember to turn off the stupid wiper. Where's the thing? What's it doing that for? Cool. Let's make sure it still works. Nothing would make me more unhappy than it not working. Still works. Forgot to turn off the wiper though, because of course I did. Where's my button? There it is. What time is it? It says only a 12-hour clock, isn't it? No. 14. That should do. I don't know why they have to specify kilometers per hour. Maybe it's just required, but yeah, there's definitely not a mile per hour section on there. They didn't intend to sell this in any imperial markets, so, which is too bad. I mean, most Americans wouldn't have bought one of these anyway. I would have, but you know, what are you gonna do? Still works. Yeah, I hit my knee pretty good the other day and it still doesn't feel nice. And knowing me, I have a tendency to be friggin' klutzy. So, of course, I hit my knee again. Not quite as hard as on that stupid refrigerator the other day, but enough to remind myself that, you know, should maybe not do that. Right, yeah, you go in there somehow. I know I took you off, so you're gonna go back in. Man, I didn't really want to do this, as I mentioned the other day. What I probably didn't mention is that it's because I got some kind of cold or some crap. I'm broke, the car's broke, we're all broke, we're a big old broken family, isn't that nice? Alright, come on. Go in the thing. Alright, come on. You can do it. Maybe. There you go. Ah, I figured it out. Aren't I smart? I think these are the same size, yeah. I still only have the 2 screws. I have no idea what happened to that one. I assume somebody's been in here before. Either that or that one rattled out and nobody bothered to replace it. Either way. No, get back here. whatever, it'll be fine. I don't know what the deal is with this thing. I guess it's locking or something. I don't know. Come on. Yeah, it's surprisingly hard to find one of these in the junkyard. I might have said that yesterday, but I've been here for 4 years. I've only seen one in a junkyard twice. And one of them wasn't even in the yard itself, it was in the resale lot and somebody bought it. I mean, it was too nice of a car to throw in the trash anyway. So, I mean, I would have bought it, but we're only allowed to have so many cars out here, so. But the person who bought it seems alright. I think there's some junior enlisted person. So. Yeah, the car in the yard was surprisingly nice too. I was kind of, they always have nice cars out there that's in the trash, which is annoying. But it was the fancy model with the glass sliding roof on there, and I think it still had its factory cassette deck, which kind of isn't actually very good, honestly. I need to do a review on this car, but yeah, it's just a standard mechanical deck with no noise reduction. Or, I don't even think it has metal tape support. It might, but I don't think so. So, yeah, not really a lot of point to it. I might see if I can find a screw for that at some point, but hey, car works, that's what's important. So, yeah, that's how you get your whatchamajigger out and mostly fix it. Hopefully you're more gentle than I am. And you don't rip the stupid display cable off the PCB, because that wasn't a good idea. But it's really fragile in there. I kind of wish they'd use that electric rubber stuff that a lot of them use, right? So that's just the display panel sandwiches a little strip of rubber that's got like conductive bits in there, and then yeah, that would have been a little easier to deal with. But no, they had to use a ribbon cable. Anyway, yeah, that's about it. Hope you enjoyed.